Okay, in this video I'm going to give you my recommendations of what should go inside a rucksack. Now, I did the assault pack, day pack video here a week, 2 weeks ago. I told you that that one is mission oriented and your rucksack is what you live out of longer term. How long? As long as you need to. It's not going to be able to hold enough supplies to keep you going for 30 days or more, but it should be able to hold enough to get you through the rest of the week. Figure between your assault pack and your rucksack, you should have at least 1 week's worth of food. And we'll get into that when we get to that point. But first here, I'm showing you my basis on this stuff is going to be based off of the US Alice pack. There are 3 sizes. Only 2 of them are good for rucksacks. They did make a small. The small is about the size of a butt pack designed for use in the jungle. Now, my recommendation is, if you can handle it, get a large Alice pack. It holds considerably more stuff. If you have issues, you're up there in age, you can't carry as much weight, maybe you got some type of disability, infirmity that interferes with you being able to handle a large, go with the medium. The medium does hold a pretty decent amount of stuff. It's the size of rucksack that was issued in basic training when I went through, and it was ungodly how much stuff we could pack in these back in the day. I will probably do a video on setting the rucksacks up. As for how to put straps on and all that, I'll go into that in another video. Now, we're going to move to what goes on the outside of your bag. Now, first we're going to start at the top here. On the top of your ruck, or the bottom, if you tie it on with some type of strap or 550 cord, you should have some type of sleeping mat. That is to insulate you from the ground, insulate you from the wet, from the cold. Now, on the top, typically the left-hand side as you're wearing it, that was a standard where your entrenching tool and carrier was supposed to go, provided you did not have to put it on your assault pack when you're going on a mission. Now, on the other side, you should have 2-quart canteen of water, and I recommend you include in there some type of saw pouch or saw drum pouch or some other type of pouch to carry either your mess kit or ration items. In particular, if it's just ration items, the ones that you need, that you can grab quickly while you're on the move, like beef jerky, energy bars, that type of stuff. Now, into the 3 pockets that are on the bottom of the ruck. And I'll show you here quick. Even on the medium, you have 3 pockets in a line here. One of them should have your poncho rolled up. Remember, you can use it to stay dry, use it to build a shelter. In the center pocket, you should have your rain gear. Top and bottom rolled up. You can slip them together inside the pouch, like so. If you have major issues, you got the medium, you can't get them both inside one pouch, well, then put one in one of the outside pouches, one in the other, poncho in another, and then these items would get filled in where you have room. But if you have a large, one of the pockets should have items such as container of foot powder, additional your camel paints, either the compact, sticks, or the tubes, or a combination thereof, your choice. And if you have areas that will allow for it, Maybe some type of small fishing kit. I usually carry a spool of fishing line, at least a 20-pound test. You should also have a small thing of bobbers, fishing hooks, weights inside your bag, also potentially in the pouch with the fishing line. The fishing line typically goes on the bottom next to your foot powder, and then the camel paint over the top of that. This stuff, the camel paint, should go inside its own little Ziploc bag so it doesn't make a mess. Now onto the inside. Once you got the outside set, before you put the stuff on the inside, you should line it, waterproof it. Should put in rubberized waterproof bag. This fills the space inside a large, more than big enough for a medium. Now if you can't get a hold of this or they're too expensive for you, I recommend some type of kitchen trash bag, as heavy duty as you can get so it lasts longer. You want the ability to be able to tie it off in case you have to do a river crossing or crossing some type of body of water. You can use the rucksack as a flotation device, only if the stuff inside doesn't get waterlogged. That's where this comes into play, closing it off, tying it up, turning it into a giant balloon. Be careful when you're looking for these online. You don't make the mistake of getting a super small one. I had that problem once. Someone had listed waterproof bags, did not list the size, and when they showed up, I got some small ones. Those are for use inside a butt pack, or you can use them to waterproof things to tie to the outside of your bag. They do still have their uses, but you're not going to use them in a ruck. Now for this next section here, we're going to be going from the bottom of your layer of your rucksack, the very bottom, to what should be on top. The stuff on the bottom should be the items you're not going to use as often. Now I recommend one spare uniform, top and bottom. You can fold them up, roll them up, and they don't take a lot of space. These are extras off the pile. That's why they're all puffed out. Next to that, in that same layer, during most of the year, but we're going into winter right now as of the time that this video is being made, you should have some type of cold weather gear if you're in the part of the United States that it does get cold. If you're in the desert and that stuff, probably don't have to worry about it. You're in the southern part of the US like Florida, might not have to worry about it. But if you're in a temperate region or extreme north of the US, you're going to want a parka and a pair of pants, preferably Gore-Tex, some type of waterproof material. As I said, most of the year, that's going to be in the bottom of your bag because you're not going to use it. When you get to fall, you move it a little bit farther up. When you get into winter, it comes out of the ruck and goes on your body. Now, first off, the next layer up, or potentially alongside the stuff on the bottom, you need to have some type of snivel gear, keep you warm. We had the wet weather stuff on the outside, cold weather stuff on the inside. My recommendation, one set of protective layer. Either a wool sweater and a set of long john bottoms, or polypro shirt, polypropylene bottoms. Either or. And then they're down at the bottom, like I said. You get later in the year, they come out, they go on your body. Now next to that, inside your bag, you should have something for your head, something for your hands. Either a baklava ski mask, some type of watch cap, either or for on top of your head, something for your hands, a set of gloves, and if it has a separate set of liners, a spare set of liners to change these out when they get wet. Next layer up, which will be about mid-rucksack, is the items that you will use more often, but you're not going to pull out every day. So in this layer, start over here on the end, spare t-shirts, socks, underwear, earth tones for your t-shirts, greens, browns, blacks, camel pattern, or even a very dark blue. You want nothing that's bright colored, nothing that's flashy, nothing that's neon. And you can very easily do packs like this. 2 t-shirts, 2 pairs of drawers, underwear, 2 pairs of socks. Depending on the size of your rucksack, how much you want to carry, you can carry 2 packs like this inside a large, one on each side on the outside of your bag, and then everything else is kind of stacked in the middle. My recommendation though is at least 2 sets. You are going to want to change stuff out. You're going to get dirty. You want to clean up. You're going to want to change your clothes in order to cut down on sores and infections on your skin. You press out the air inside these bags when you get everything rolled up and put inside. Now in this same layer, mid-bag, I recommend some type of common task manual. As new as possible. STP 21-1-SMCT, I've mentioned it before. You want that in there so that you can reference it. As new as possible for having that reference material in there for if you capture a weapon that you don't understand how to use. Hopefully that information is inside there so that you can go through, follow the pictures, read the directions, you know how to clean it, how to put it back together, how to employ it. Now also in this layer, recommend your cleaning items, personal hygiene. You're going to want 1 towel, 1 washcloth, once again, earth tones, camouflage pattern, nothing bright, small compact personal hygiene kit that should have a bar of soap, toothbrush, toothpaste. If you're a guy, some type of razor. You're also going to want some type of shaving cream or shaving powder. Remember, disposables do break. I do kind of recommend try to get a hold of one of these safety razor types where you just have to replace the blade, and then have packages of the spare blades in there. Now the next layer up is going to be your more expendable items, the things that you're going to use a lot. So that's where your food is going to be, spare batteries, spare boxes of ammo. What you get is what you can afford, what you like, what you can work with. Recommendations: 3 to 4 days worth of food minimum. Now, I know you're probably used to 3 meals a day. Realistically, you're in a combat situation, you're probably going to be eating only 1 time a day, maybe twice. But you should have some type of snack type items, or items that you can use to supplement other stuff. Things like jerky, meat sticks, smaller summer sausages that you can cut up. You can eat them straight, or you can fry them, add them to rice or whatever else. Add them to some ramen noodles. I have here a 4-pack. Something that you could have with you as kind of an emergency ration thing. Get a hold of some of these lifeboat ration packs. Each one of them is supposed to have about 1 day's worth of calories in them. The taste is questionable, but it's a bare minimum to keep you alive. You're not going to want that as your everyday ration, but you can use it in an emergency situation, like you're stuck out in a defensive fighting position, you're trapped there. Well, you got what you need to survive. And also, energy bars come in handy. Now, MREs, realistically, you can survive on 3 MREs total for 3 days. 1 MRE a day. Each MRE has between 1,500 to about 2,000 calories. That's if you eat every single thing that's in there. You drink the drink packets and that also. So you'll still end up hungry, but keep you alive. And as I constantly mention, freeze-dried meals. Get as small a pack as possible that will fit in your bag easier. If you can get the LERP MCW rations, hey, you get a double thumbs up for me. They're hard to get, but they're compact. They have the same amount of food as one of these bags. They'll keep you alive. How many per day? At least 2. Think of it as you make your food in the morning before the sun comes up, conceals your smoke from your fire, especially if you have it hidden inside a Dakota smoke hole. And then you have your last meal of the day. After the sun is down, darkness will conceal your smoke. You should have some spare batteries for whatever electronics you have with you, whether it's radios, flashlights, night vision goggles. Carry spare batteries inside your ruck. Now, any spare ammo that you have that's still inside the boxes, still inside the cartons, goes inside the rucksack in this layer. Now above that, you're going to have your ration items. That's provided you don't have your mess kit inside a pouch on the outside of your rucksack, or you can take your mess kit, put it in that pouch. That's the top flap of the Alice pack. It will fit in there. But you'll need mess kit, utensils, and remember, additional items like can openers, things to clean your mess kit, put them inside. Now you should have some type of cook stand. You can go the real compact route, or you can get a grill type stand and you put it on top of all this stuff. It'll get held down by the 550 cord type cinch that's in the top of the Alice pack. Now above that, underneath the flap, would be where you will keep a minimum of 10 sandbags, rolled up, folded up. This is kind of sloppy, but there's 10 there. You can get them pretty compact. It will fit in there. And you should also have a tarp, 6 foot by 6 foot, 8 foot by 8 foot, something that you can use as a ground cloth, or you can use as overhead cover for an emergency shelter. Also to go with it, you're going to want 550 cord, minimum of 6 metal tent stakes. Minimum of 6. So that you would have your 4 corners and potentially 2 that could be used for your guidelines for your ridge line, depending on the type of shelter you put up. Now, there you go. Remember, the rucksack is what you live out of. So that's where your spare clothing is going to be. That's where your longer term snivel gear is going to be, not what you're using at the current season. That would be on your body, transferred over to your assault pack. You have your personal hygiene items in it. I recommend some type of common task manual. You can fit a deck of cards inside a rucksack easy. It's not going to take up a lot of room. Or some type of small travel game, something to take your mind off of stuff. the bulk of your rucksack. Fill it with as much compact, calorie-dense, nutritious food that you can. Not just chips and pretzels. You want stuff that's going to give you nutrition. It's going to give you protein. It's going to give you minerals. It's going to give you the vitamins that you need. Now, if you have to carry any type of medication because of a medical condition, keep that inside your assault pack, which is always with you. If you have any extra, it would go inside your rucksack. When we went to the desert, we were told we had to have 3 to 4 months worth of stuff. If anyone was on any type of medication, they went to their doctor, got 3 to 6 months worth. Well, they kept at least a month's worth inside their assault pack, and the rest of it was inside their ruck. Bulk of the stuff that should be in your rucksack should be food. Is this all inclusive? Could you put more stuff inside your rucksack? Hell yes you can. I'm just giving you some recommendations. Put in there what you think you need to survive in your environment. Tailor it to that. As I've said before, there are tons of videos out there of people that tell you, you gotta have this, gotta have this, gotta have this, don't carry that. I'm not going to give that to you. I'm giving you some ideas. But you should have in there the cold weather gear during the warm weather months. You get into the cold weather months, well then your wet weather stuff, your warm weather stuff, that replaces the cold weather stuff down in the bottom of your ruck. You swap it back and forth. Fill every available space, but remember, watch your weight. The standard in the U.S. military, which they really do not go off of, is that you should only carry approximately 1/3 of your body weight in your gear, your rucksack, your ammo, your weapon. So take that in mind. If you're really out of shape, you're really fat, you're probably not going to be carrying as much. Get a rucksack that meets your needs, that you can handle. There are larger rucks out there than what I showed you, than the Alice Pack. There's the Mollies, there's mountain rucksacks, foreign ones that are comparable to the Molly. But if you can't handle it, go with a smaller ruck. My recommendation, as I said, should be at least the large Alice Pack. But if you have problems, your rear area, whatever it might be, you can't handle as much weight, maybe you're carrying a heavy plate carrier that's got the AR 500 plates in it, you got 1,000 rounds of ammunition and magazines on you, you're probably not going to carry a large ruck. You might be carrying a medium. But there you go, that's some recommendations. Tailor your packing list to your needs, your rucksack, survival gear, and the stuff that you're going to use more often to replenish your assault pack. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember, essayons.